Welcome back to Talking Points. Former Secretary of State Colin Powell died Monday morning from complications with COVID-19. Powell was the U.S.'s first black Secretary of State and paved the way for the war in Iraq. So, Moriah, General Powell was someone who did devote his life to public service. He was the Secretary of State under George W. Bush. He was the Joint Chiefs of Staff Chairman under H.W. Bush and Clinton. He was the National Security Advisor under Reagan. This man has had a very long and storied career and has presided amongst a lot of the foreign involvements the U.S. has had.
Absolutely, and Colin Powell was very decorated in the United States military, serving for 35 years. Beginning with the Vietnam War, he became a 4-star general, and specifically he's most noted for serving under the Bush administration. He was the first American to criticize after 9/11 and publicly blame Osama bin Laden's Al-Qaeda network. Along with that, he also has served for 35 years, and he was a 4-star general before becoming the first black chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff.
Yeah, and while many in America today was a very somber day, there are people in other parts of the world, and there are even people in this country who were critical of Colin Powell. Many people in Iraq, many people because he went in front of the UN Security Council in 2003, and he even says that he regrets the mistake, but he says he got bad intelligence and talked about Iraq having weapons of mass destruction that led to the war in Iraq. He called it in 2011 a, quote, blot on his record, and he said again that a lot of his intelligence sources were wrong. There was a quote in an AP story this morning, and it was an Iraqi journalist who said, "I'm saddened by the death of Colin Powell without being tried for his crimes in Iraq, but I'm sure that the court of God will be waiting for him," and that seems to be emblematic of what a lot of people in that part of the world are thinking after today.
Absolutely, and I mean, you know, even though he did have this blot on his record, like you said, he was admired by many. There was a time in the mid-90s when people believed that he could be the first black president. Now, that ultimately, of course, didn't happen, but he was definitely somebody who stood out and was an inspiration to many.
Absolutely, and we now see that with the inspiration to many, Colin Powell was one who went on both sides. So most recently, he had nominated or sent his support to the last 4 Democrats nominated for the President of the United States.
And he was a Republican as well. He switched his political affiliation to an independent just right back in January after the Capitol riot on January 6th. So this was somebody who was wide-ranging in his political beliefs.
Absolutely.